Hi, it's Stephanie with Move by Purpose. Thank you for stopping by and checking out this video today. Today's question that Paul wrote into me that I am happy to answer is on the topic of fear. He has a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams, a lot of desires to make an impact, to influence the world for good. But every time he steps out or tries to step out or thinks of even beginning to do what he wants to do, he is overcome with a million reasons as to why it won't work, how he's not capable, how he doesn't know enough, how he doesn't have enough, how he's not good enough. He realizes that he thinks this is a fear-based response, which is very smart and intuitive of him to realize. And his question is, how do I overcome this fear, or how do I control it? So, in my work with a lot of clients, fear is actually the biggest thing I help them process through and work through in order to accomplish what God has destined them to accomplish. In fact, I can write a whole book on it, and the book I'm currently writing focuses a lot about the fear and how to overcome it. I've seen the spirit of fear far too often steal too many God-given destinies and purposes in the world. It's given into way too much. So Paul, thank you for asking this question, because I'm going to equip you with 4 ways to drown out the lies of the spirit of fear to walk in victory with your God-given purpose. Number 1, which you've already done, acknowledge that it's fear. Acknowledge the voices you are hearing and challenge them. Ask yourself, what lies are you believing? Chances are you have put faith in a lie and accepted that as truth. Otherwise, you would be in a different place right now. So here's a list of what I hear on a daily basis that I need to push through. See if you can recognize this voice. Who do you think you are to blank? You can't even do blank. Insert an area of weakness, a failure, defects, past failures, current struggles. The spirit of fear finds your weak spots and pushes those buttons. The next voice that I hear, you're a joke. Look at how bad you are at this. You will never be like blank. Insert someone you admire, someone that may be years ahead of you, someone that's gifted differently than you, and realize that comparison is a common tactic of the spirit of fear to still steal, kill, and destroy your destiny. Comparison is not really good. Like I mentioned, people may have years ahead of you. They're wired differently. They have different skills, different gifts, and it's okay to be different. It's okay if it looks different. Tactic number 3. How arrogant, prideful, greedy, insert some other character assassination that you spy into, that you are to maybe charge for your services, or, to think that you can make an influence, all kinds of things. Accusations against your character, which are also lies, are another tactic of the spirit of fear. There are many other ways that these voices appear, but these 3 are really, really common. So next time you're kind of feeling like, is this God's wisdom or is this fear? Ask yourself, what's getting targeted? Are your weaknesses getting pushed? Is there comparison being made? Or are there accusations against your character that are present? And that will help you discern if it's the spirit of fear. Number 2. Know that God is greater. Scriptures say in 1 John 4:4, greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You are all created with a specific and unique purpose. You have a call on your life. You are destined to do something really beautiful and really great. And the enemy doesn't want you to get there. He doesn't want you to achieve it. So when you are attacked with it, realize you're pretty close. So while fear is never really good, the presence of it is saying that you're pretty warm to accomplishing something incredible. Remember that God uses your weaknesses for his glory. That's stated in 2 Corinthians 12:9. It's okay to be imperfect and flawed, to have defects and weaknesses. God actually loves shining bright through that so He can get the glory. And number 3, speak God's words against those voices. Are you afraid you don't have the resources to build your dream? God's word says He knows of and supplies your every need in Philippians 4:19. You lack nothing. Right here and right now, you have everything you need to fulfill the call on your life. You take that step and watch Him be faithful to supply you with exactly what you need at the moment you need it. And number 4, the only way to overcome fear is to actually do what you were afraid of. You can stand and speak the word. You can discern whether it's a lie or the truth in all of the aforementioned points I've made, which is all equipping you to have the strength to step out now and pretty much punch fear in the face. So, faith without action is dead. You've got to be putting it to work. You've got to be taking steps. Do you dream of being a speaker but are actually paralyzed with fear at the thought of public speaking? Take me, for example. I actually know that I will end up speaking to large crowds. I will be an influential speaker. I'm currently seeing the fruits of that starting to come to pass. But let me tell you, I was actually really afraid of public speaking, so much so that when there was an assignment in college that required a presentation, I would take a hit on my grade and skip class or just flat out refuse to present because that's how afraid I was. Now, I consistently speak in front of people. It may not be thousands of people, but it's slowly increasing in number. And I actually really love it. It feels empowering, and you just feel so powerful when you push through that fear doing something you know you're meant to do or know that you're really drawn to, and you just don't allow anything to hold you back anymore. And then my last point here is that sometimes fear is rooted in a soul wound, something that happened in your past, most likely in your early childhood development years. And it's something that requires some kind of process for God to reveal to you what that is. I do have a workshop that I teach called Mindset Mastery, where I walk you through the process of healing those wounds and walking in freedom today. I encourage you, if you think that fear might be rooted in a soul wound, that you check out my podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Search for it. It's called The Moved by Purpose Podcast. Search for the 13 ways to change your mindset. It's also on movedbypurpose.net. You can search for mindset or change your mindset, and it should pop right up. And that will walk you through the process of how to go through the healing of those soul wounds so you can be free of that bondage of fear. If you like this episode, make sure that you subscribe to get fresh encouragement and insight into your daily life so you can walk in that freedom and abundance and live out the purpose that God destined you to live. I'll see you all next week.